Hey everyone, and welcome back. AI is changing so fast that it can be hard to keep up. So we've gathered up some recent reports that caught our eye, and we thought we'd take a deep dive into these to see if there are any common threads. Some of this stuff is like straight out of a spy thriller.
Yeah, it really is amazing to see how events that seem totally separate can actually be connected.
So we'll be looking at Nvidia's chips ending up in China despite restrictions.
Right.
And then this big shakeup at Meta.
Yeah, with Zuckerberg going all in on AI.
And then something completely different. Amazon is using AI to fight floods in Spain.
Interesting.
So first up, those Nvidia chips. The U.S. government put export controls in place. They were trying to limit China's access to these super powerful AI chips, but
Chinese buyers are finding ways around it.
Right.
They're going through third-party sellers.
Yeah.
A lot of times these sellers are in neighboring countries, and they're getting their hands on these chips.
So it's not just a simple buy and sell, it's a whole network.
Yeah.
And Nvidia isn't suffering.
No, not at all.
They reported over $11 billion in sales last quarter. And probably a good chunk of that is because of these chips.
Makes you wonder if these export controls are really going to work in the long run. Mm-hmm. The demand's there.
Yeah.
And so is the motivation to get around the rules. I think what we're seeing is a part of this global competition for AI dominance.
So why are these chips so special? They're not your average computer chips, are they?
No, these are very specific. They're designed just for AI. They have this unique architecture for parallel processing that makes them incredibly efficient for machine learning and deep learning.
So that's why they're so valuable for developing AI applications.
Exactly. They're like the engines that are powering this whole AI revolution. They enable more sophisticated algorithms, faster processing, and ultimately more powerful AI applications.
Okay. And China really doesn't want to be left behind.
Right. They see how much potential AI has to transform industries, even shift global power.
Okay, well, speaking of big AI ambitions, let's talk about Meta. Mark Zuckerberg's been shaking things up there, making it very clear that AI is the company's top priority.
Yes, absolutely. Streamlining the workforce, reallocating resources, pouring a lot of money into developing these technologies.
It seems like they're changing lanes at high speed, cutting staff in some places, but increasing spending in others.
Yeah.
Like, Zuckerberg is convinced that AI is the key to Meta's future.
Well, he's probably right.
Yeah.
Think about how AI could revolutionize the way Meta operates.
Right.
Think about targeted advertising.
Yeah.
With more sophisticated AI algorithms, Meta could make ad even more effective and even more lucrative.
Okay, so there's the money side of things, but what about content moderation?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Could AI be used to flag and remove harmful content faster and more accurately than human moderators?
Absolutely. Potentially even addressing one of the biggest challenges facing all the social media companies.
And what about all this other stuff that they're working on?
Oh, yeah.
AI-powered tools to generate personalized content. Right.
Translate languages instantly, create these immersive virtual reality experiences.
It's like they're building this whole new digital world.
Right.
And AI is the foundation.
So they're making these changes to their business model, but they're also making changes to their content moderation policies at the same time, moving away from that third-party fact-checking and relaxing some of the rules around hate speech. All this is happening while we're seeing changes in the political landscape.
That timing is interesting. It does make you wonder if there's a connection between political events and decisions at these tech giants.
Yeah.
Meta's reach is huge. So any change in their policies could have a ripple effect across the internet.
Makes you think, who's really in control of information online?
Yeah.
And how AI might shape the way we see the world.
It's a complex issue with lots of nuances. Something we'll definitely need to explore further in this deep dive.
Okay, so we've talked about these powerful Nvidia chips. We've talked about Meta's big AI push. But now let's switch gears for a minute. Amazon is using AI to fight floods.
Yeah, in Spain.
Interesting.
It turns out they're building data centers in the Aragon region. And they're using AI to predict and prevent flood risks. So maybe you're thinking, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it turns out that this story highlights how AI isn't just about futuristic robots or self-driving cars. AI can be applied to these real-world problems.
Like a critical environmental challenge.
And those powerful Nvidia chips we were talking about earlier, they make this kind of advanced AI application possible. Without that processing power, you couldn't crunch all that data, you couldn't run those complex simulations to predict the floods.
Right.
It really shows how all these events in the tech world can actually be connected. So we've got Nvidia chips powering AI development, Meta going all in on AI, Amazon using AI to tackle environmental challenges. Clearly, AI is a major force, and it feels like we're just getting started.
Yeah, what's fascinating is that these stories, they're just a glimpse into this larger AI landscape. There's so much more happening.
Right.
And the implications are vast.
We'll be back in a moment to explore those implications in more depth. So stay with us for a deeper dive into the world of AI. Welcome back to our deep dive into AI. So before the break, we were talking about NVIDIA's chips and Meta's AI plans, and even how Amazon is using AI to predict floods.
It really is striking how these stories all point to the same trend, that AI is rapidly becoming a major force globally.
It's like we're all standing on the edge of this huge technological wave, just starting to see the first ripples hit the shore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about it. AI is already impacting you every day in more ways than you probably realize.
Right, like from those recommendations on your streaming service.
Yeah, or like how your phone predicts your next text.
AI is behind the scenes shaping your digital experiences.
And its influence is only going to grow as the technology evolves.
Right. I mean, AI is being used to develop new drugs now, even compose music. It's changing the game in almost every industry you can think of.
That's why it's so important to understand what's happening in AI. It's not just some abstract concept anymore. It's going to shape the future, whether we're ready for it or not.
So earlier we were talking about how those Nvidia chips are ending up in China, despite those export controls.
Right.
That's a prime example of how AI is becoming a key factor in global power.
Absolutely. The U.S. and China are both investing heavily in AI. They both see it as a way to gain an edge.
Yeah, economically and strategically.
It's like a modern-day space race.
Yeah.
But instead of rockets and satellites, we're talking about algorithms and data.
With incredibly high stakes.
Yeah.
Leadership in AI could lead to whole new industries, technological breakthroughs, and even shift that balance of global power.
And it's happening right now. AI is shaping the geopolitical landscape right now.
Okay, so let's circle back to Meta for a minute. We were talking about how Zuckerberg is betting big on AI, but how will that look in practice?
Okay. Well beyond targeted advertising and content moderation,
Mm-hmm.
AI could analyze user data to create these really personalized experiences in the metaverse. Like imagine your virtual avatar, your interactions, the environments you encounter, all tailored to your preferences.
So it's like having a personal AI assistant curating your whole virtual world.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just the beginning. AI could create more realistic and immersive virtual environments, develop new forms of entertainment, and even make virtual commerce possible.
It's like they're building a whole new digital economy.
Yeah.
Powered by AI. Which brings us back to those content moderation changes at Meta,
Right.
moving away from third-party fact-checking, relaxing those rules around hate speech.
Yeah.
This raises some questions about how AI might affect how information spreads online.
It's a complex issue. On the one hand, AI could help identify and flag harmful content, maybe more efficiently than human moderators.
Okay.
But then there were concerns about bias,
Mhm.
accuracy, and even the potential for AI to censor certain viewpoints.
Right. So it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
And we really need to consider all of this as AI becomes a bigger part of content moderation.
It's important to take a step back here and consider the big picture.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this points to the fact that AI is becoming more and more powerful and more pervasive.
It's not just a tool for tech companies and researchers anymore.
It's going to affect every aspect of our lives.
Right. And as AI continues to evolve, we need to have these conversations about the implications.
Yeah, we need to ask ourselves some tough questions. How do we ensure AI is used responsibly? How do we reduce the risks? And at the same time, maximize the potential benefits?
Everyone needs to be thinking about these questions.
Yeah, not just people who work in AI.
Because the future of AI isn't predetermined.
We have the power to shape it.
The choices we make today will determine what that future looks like.
Okay, so we've talked about how NVIDIA's chips are fueling this AI race
Mm-hmm.
and Meta's ambitious plans, and even how AI is predicting floods.
But let's go back to that Amazon story about their flood-fighting AI.
Yeah.
On the surface, it seems like a positive use of AI, using technology to protect people and infrastructure.
It is.
But it also makes you think about who benefits from these advances.
That's a really good point.
In this case, Amazon is building data centers in Spain, and they're protecting those investments. So yeah, it benefits the local community, but it's also in Amazon's best interest to make sure those data centers aren't damaged.
It's a reminder that technology isn't neutral.
Yeah.
It often serves the interests of the people who create it and the people who can access it.
And as AI becomes more powerful, we need to be aware of those power dynamics. We need to make sure that AI benefits everyone,
Not just a select few.
So the Amazon story shows that AI can be a force for good.
It does.
But it also serves as a cautionary tale.
Yeah, we need to be mindful of the motivations behind these initiatives.
Right.
And make sure the benefits are shared widely.
Right.
It's a reminder that we need to actively shape the future of AI, not just sit back and watch it happen.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment to wrap up this deep dive and explore some final thoughts on what the future might hold. And we are back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of AI. It's been quite a journey.
It really has. We've seen how AI is becoming a driving force in the global economy, influencing geopolitical strategies, even changing how we interact with the world around us.
It's like we're watching the early chapters of a science fiction novel unfold.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to decide how the story ends.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
AI has the potential to be so beneficial,
Right.
but also incredibly disruptive.
Yeah. So, what can we do to make sure that AI is used for good?
Well, first we have to stay informed.
Yeah.
The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to have these important conversations.
Right. So we don't all have to become AI experts, but we need to be aware of the trends,
Exactly.
the challenges, the
You're going
opportunities.
to be asking questions,
Yeah.
challenging assumptions, and demanding transparency from the people developing and using these technologies.
You said earlier that AI isn't neutral, that it reflects the values of the people who create it.
That's right. And that's why it's so important to have a variety of perspectives involved in developing these systems.
Right.
We need to make sure they're designed to be fair, inclusive, and aligned with our shared values as a society.
So it's not just about the technical side of things, it's about the human element.
Absolutely.
Making sure that AI reflects the best of humanity.
It requires ongoing dialogue, critical thinking, a willingness to challenge the status quo.
We can't just sit back and let the future of AI happen to us.
We need to actively shape it.
And that starts with educating ourselves, talking to our friends and family, and holding those in power accountable for responsible AI development.
Even small actions can make a difference. Think of it like voting.
Yeah.
Every time you choose to support a company that is committed to ethical AI or speak up about your concerns, you're casting a vote for the kind of future you want to see.
That's a great way to look at it. It's about the choices we make as a society.
And those choices are being made right now. The future of AI is unfolding all around us.
So to wrap up, I want to leave you with a sense of both caution and optimism. AI has amazing potential for good, but there are risks too. It's up to all of us to navigate those risks and make sure that AI is used to create a better world for everyone.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but this is really just the beginning of the conversation.
Stay curious, stay engaged, and let's keep exploring the world of AI together. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep asking questions. The future of AI depends on it.